Welcome to the Coach's Sons podcast. My name is Andrew.
And I'm Chris.
Guys, this one's going to be a little unhinged. Chris is on vacation. He is at the beach, but he's dedicated. And so we're going to try to do a podcast. Just so you know, we're going to try a couple things out. Because we're doing this virtually, we're also going to post this on YouTube. So all you YouTube folks out there, thanks for joining us.
I'm empty-handed because I don't think I need to be having one while we do this.
Chris, how much have you had to drink already?
We're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Fight Club.
Sounds good to me. Well, everybody, it's obviously there's some things we want to talk about, some big heavy hitter matchups, some things we're looking forward to, some things that made me cry. But we're going to get to all of it. Let's start with just a fun matchup that happened earlier this week when Paul Skeens faced his idol, apparently. They kept playing that up, but Mr. Shohei Ohtani.
What a matchup. You show up to that ballpark, you got everything you wanted to see. So I remember texting. I definitely texted you. I want to say Doug was in the text too. I texted a bunch of other friend groups.
That is part-time producer Doug Irwin.
And it was like, oh shit, Skeens just struck out Ohtani on 3 straight roughly 100-mile-an-hour fastballs.
Mm-hmm.
Just FU fastballs right down the middle. Ohtani couldn't handle it.
Well, and don't forget he struck out Mookie prior too. Like I think Mookie swung at
This is
that
about
nasty
Ohtani.
slider. I know,
This
but
is
I'm just
about
saying, like Skeens is on his like high level. He's on it.
Yeah. He ultimately the Pirates end up winning the game. He ultimately pitched very well. I want to say he had a quality start without looking at the exact numbers. But overall, he went right at Shohei. I don't know if it was 3 pitches, 3 outs, but the 3 pitches I saw that were the strikes were 100-mile-an-hour fastballs. Shohei
101. Yep.
Whiff rate 100% on those fastballs. Awesome. Like, you're a Pirates fan. It's in Pittsburgh. Everybody's pumped. Not 2.5, 3 innings later, Shohei comes to the plate. Skeens throws his patented 100-mile-an-hour fastball, and Shohei hits it 105 over the center field fence.
Dead center. Dead fucking center.
You got everything you came for because you're like, hey, I get to go see Shohei play. Hey, I get to go see Skeens pitch. You watch the elite of the elite from Skeens. You watch the elite of the elite from Shohei, and they just like collision course.
It was awesome.
And here we are. What did I say to you? I was like, isn't baseball awesome? Or
Yeah.
To who is it? Sarah Langs, right? To quote her, like, baseball is the best.
Yeah.
Like, where else? What other sport do you get that in? Like, you watch the creme de la creme of 2 absolute superstars.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, completely different aspects of the game, but to not call Skeens a superstar is crazy. If anybody thinks that, you're wrong. But I don't know. You just don't know what else to think because you're like, oh, well, Shohei's lost this step. And then, again, 25 minutes later, there goes Shohei.
Yeah.
You're like, God damn.
I think one of the funniest things was after the strike. I sent it to you and Doug. There's a meme that, Skeens struck out or got hit deep after he let that home run. And it was like, oh, this guy's washed. He let up a home run to a old Japanese player who has a gambling problem. And thought that was funny. But, I mean, it is very cool. And it got me thinking, too, Chris, what matchups are you just excited about seeing or you wish you could see more of, right? So Skeens, Ohtani is a big deal. But like let's power versus power or I mean smarts versus smarts. Like what pitcher batter matchup would you want to see that you're like, I gotta watch this shit? I have one and I want to hear what yours are.
I think you might have to go first because I wasn't prepared for this. we had to have a call prior to this, and you didn't prepare me.
I didn't prepare you for this one. I apologize.
No. I will have some, but you hit me with whatever you got first.
Okay, so and when we're talking power versus power, I want to see, and it's going to have to happen in interleague play or the World
It'll
Series.
happen. Everybody plays everybody.
That's true. Okay, so
Unless it happened already, and we didn't check.
I want to see Glasnow versus Judge.
Well, that's going to happen this weekend.
Yeah,
actually.
Oh, is Glasnow pitching this weekend?
Pretty sure he's pitching Sunday night. You might get to see it on ESPN Sunday Night
Let's
Baseball.
fucking
no free
go.
ads, by the way.
I want to see that shit so
that.
bad because Judge is just on fire right now, which we'll talk more about later.
Gl-
And
Glass
Glass
now
now is
Sunday. That's
yeah.
correct.
Okay, all right. Sunday. Everybody tune in. That's going to be an electric at bat every time it happens because Glass now is the top of his game right now, and so is Judge. That was the first one that popped into my head.
I mean, it's hard not to like name Judge and like you keep you're like, okay, Skeens, and then you're
Yeah.
like Skeens and Soto, right? Like in your head, you just keep going down that line. But
Ooh, you know what? Like, what about Savvy versus Savvy? So, like Imanaga, for an example, he's not an overpowering pitcher, but he's like a smart, catch you off speed type of pitcher. Who's a batter that you like? He's not power, but he's a smart batter, like a
it,
Tony Gwynn esque. You know what I mean?
mm, I mean, that would probably be like Arise, Luis
Ooh,
Arise.
yeah, Imanaga,
Like if
right?
you're
That'd
into
be,
that sort of thing.
yeah, because
But
that's the chess match, man.
so
That would be awesome.
to do different versus different would be, and you're gonna see that this weekend too, potentially, is Imanaga versus Ellie De La Cruz.
Ooh,
So like
oh, that's right.
crafty
Yeah, yeah,
first, like
yeah.
I'm just gonna swing the shit out of this bat, and if I get it, it's in the river.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean? Like I love
yeah.
like that concept is like really cool. Like, hey, I'm gonna come at this 90 mile an hour, whatever the hell pitch Imanaga throws, and he's gonna. I'm coming with 110 on this bat
Mm,
speed, which
that's
is the
awesome.
wrong number, but you get the point. Ooh,
Ooh, go ahead.
power. You can't go power without Giancarlo.
Yeah, against who
Whoever
though?
first Giancarlo. I don't know. Pick one. Pick some.
Chapman,
Like, there
Aroldis
you
Chap.
go.
That dude hit 104 today, by the way.
Okay, hang on. This is a tangent you weren't prepared for either.
I was
Speaking
not.
of Aroldis Chapman,
Yeah.
Aroldis Chapman gave up what seemed to be an absolute moonshot. So he threw the pitch. I do not recall who hit it, but somebody hit it and made pretty clean contact. Chapman lost his mind thinking he gave up a bomb,
Hmm.
and the ball was just caught on the warning track. But everything in terms of what the hell, bat speed or ball speed and launch angle to previous seasons was that pitch is a home run or that
Yeah.
batted ball is a home run, and it went warning track and that was it.
Interesting.
Is Did they deaden the baseballs again, except for Aaron Judge, who they continue to feed juiced baseballs to?
I mean, do we feel like we're out of control with home runs recently? I don't think so.
Well, no, that would for Judge, yes, but for the rest of the league, no.
Definitely not. Interesting. I mean, it's definitely not out of the question.
Like, like the dead, like it makes sense to think like that, right? Like, because
Mm,
you think from a hitter's perspective, when you see a guy like pimp a home run, that man, that individual has hit so many home runs in their life,
just like that. Yeah.
whether they have 3 home runs in Major League Baseball or 300, they know when that ball's a home run.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So when it doesn't go, like, and again, I should have looked up the batter and how they reacted and all of that, but I'm not, because like a pitcher feels the same thing. You hear the contact, you see the reactions from everybody,
Hmm.
and he's getting trashed because he's Aroldis Chapman, and he is who he is, and we're not going to go into that because we have a limited amount of time on this Zoom call,
Yes.
but
45 minutes,
it's
Chris.
oh, allegedly.
Allegedly.
We might, just as a heads up, this might get cut short. So if you're watching on YouTube, it might just be like, "Hey, this is over,"
All right,
and
bye.
you deal with it. We were doing our best, but anyway. So like Aroldis Chapman is like a bad example of like, oh, this guy's freaking out, but that ball should have been hit to, you know,
The moon.
into the river. Not
Yeah.
really a dead center is a bomb, but to my point, my hypothetical question of did they deaden the baseballs? And yes, I lumped in Aaron Judge because I want to be, funny or cheeky, if you will, use a soccer term there.
Cheeky. Well, I mean, I think both him and Giancarlo, I mean, maybe it's just the Yankees in general get the non-juice balls. That makes
Giancarlo hits
sense.
the ball like 100. Like when it comes off his bat, it's a ridiculous number.
I want to see. I want to. And last tangent. I want them to put a metal bat in his hand and like take some shots off a pitching machine just to see
I
how dangerous it actually is.
I am a very strong proponent of metal bats at the home run derby.
Ooh,
However, we're there's a lot of based on what you just said, there's a lot of things that could go horrifically
very
wrong.
wrong. Yeah, very wrong.
So, with that said, I'm fine with the pitching machine, I suppose, but somebody still has to throw anyway. But we could do it pre All-Star game, but like still that weekend, but
Hmm.
just empty stadium. But film it all. Make it all content.
I mean, I don't disagree.
Because like one of those kids will get decapitated out there.
They would die. They would absolutely
Like
die.
they're have you seen them try and field the ball out there?
Yeah, I
And
mean,
now I got Giancarlo coming at like 120 ball speed.
I'm just imagining somebody like doing the sidearm pitch behind the net and Giancarlo ripping it through the net into the guy's
I
forehead. You know what I mean? Just
I
like,
have a
"Phew."
vivid memory of Richie Sexton, if you're quite the throwback, in
Mm.
Milwaukee, hitting it like over the slide there in that left center field, like, and that slide isn't particularly close. Um, so you could only imagine what someone like Giancarlo would do. So, hey, I want it. Let's figure out how to get that in.
Actually sounds like a lot of fun. Pro
Just
metal
no
bat.
children on the field,
Yeah,
for the
yeah.
love of God.
Everybody sign a fucking waiver.
But they can't, so no kids.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. No, that sounds like fun. Okay. All right. So tangent over. But yeah, there you know, it was fun watching those two superstars face each other and you know, it baseball is chess and getting to see them battle back and forth where Shohei got
Everybody won.
embarrassed and then Skeens got embarrassed. It was that I love baseball.
They
Baseball's
both
the best.
won. It wasn't like,
Yeah.
Shohei got him for 2 or 3 home runs. It wasn't Skeens struck him out every time they faced. It's just everybody won. So fans of each side are like, hey, I got to see what I wanted to see. This was
Exactly. Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. That's so cool. I'm excited to see what
Skeens is
uh,
incredible, by the way. We're not going to go down that
he
whole
is.
thing, but
Holy crap.
man, he's electric. He's must-see TV. If you haven't, please go watch him when he's throwing. He's worth the price of admission. Find out how to get to a stadium near you to see him pitch because he is well worth it. He's Steven Strasburg 2.0,
Yeah.
and
Oh, I completely agree.
I just
He
hope the longevity isn't the same.
and he's
Like I
bigger
hope
than
he has.
he's bigger than Strauss too, right?
I don't know. He's not
Yeah.
a small fellow.
I,
Strasburg wasn't small
for
either,
some
though.
reason, I feel like he when watch him pitch, he looks like a right-handed Randy Johnson, and I'm not sure why. He's not that tall, but he just the way his arm stretches, he just feels lanky as shit, and he's fun to watch for sure. Chris, you went to a baseball game this weekend, did you not?
I did. I went to see the Philadelphia Phillies play the Milwaukee Brewers
There we
in
go.
Philly. So I'm currently in Delaware, um, but we drove the 2 hours. Went to see Phillies play Brewers. Noah was on the mound, much to your chagrin, pitched quite the gem.
Damn it.
Uh, some of us may have bet the over. Some of us may have bet over like 13 and a half runs. We kind of got
Mm.
carried away with that one, but that's okay. We didn't win, and we didn't expect to win. Shit happens. But my takeaway, what I thought was like fun in the whole thing, was that this was Reese Hoskins' return to Philly.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So Reese Hoskins' return. Now, mind you, this was what the hell is today?
Today's Thursday, the 6th.
Thursday. I don't think they played today. Hoskins' actual return. He got quite the standing O. Real Muto called time, went to the mound. That whole shit. We might get cut off, by the way. Try not to. But they got the whole standing ovation thing in a perfect like Philly outcome. Philly won the game. Reese Hoskins hit a home run. Fans are happy, super happy.
Yeah.
Everything was cool. I have no idea what happened on Tuesday. Now on Wednesday, he is whatever serviceable, and he got standing O's every time he came up. But then he came up in like a decent situation, runner on, game's 2-0, Hoskins at the plate. Everybody booed him. It was like the perfect like encapsulation of Philadelphia Phillies
It is.
fandom. Was
Yeah.
like we do love you. Like you have a solid place in our heart forever. But
Go
you're
fuck
not with
yourself
us
right now.
anymore.
Yeah,
And,
yeah, yeah,
and yeah, pretty much, right? Like he was making dive and play. I was with one of my best friends, big Phillies fan, Kyle. He's like, Reese Hoskins made a diving play. He's like, you've never done that ever. Like, when did you start figuring out how to do that? Right? Like, again, like that dynamic is crazy. Where it's like he's beloved there. He's he'll never have to buy a beer ever in the city of Philadelphia. Like people love that guy, but at the same time, he comes up, they're like, "Fuck you, buddy! Like, you're no longer with us. We need to win this game." And it was just a good dynamic, and obviously always good to be at a ballpark. Citizens Bank is high up there on my list. Again, much to your chagrin, but I certainly enjoy being there.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's awesome, man. I went to a baseball game earlier this week too. It was a minor league baseball game. The Greenville Drive. I caught a home run ball, by the way. I
I
was, I
what
was
an insane
I was
thing.
sitting on top of the Monster, which is the best seats in the house, by the way, if you ever go to a Greenville Drive
Single
game.
A, Greenville Drive, Boston Red Sox affiliate, by the way.
Dude.
Go
Yeah,
on.
yeah, exactly. And they're a next level team. Like the stadium's great, the team's great. It's a great experience. So, but anyways, all right. So, Chris, again, we're going to be a little disjointed. We're kind of all over the place, but real quick, I'll do a kind of a Braves breakdown. Obviously, literally, we had a breakdown with Acuna getting injured
What a
again.
sad state of affairs.
I mean, you got to feel bad for this kid. He really only has a couple seasons under his belt, full seasons for the most part, and he's going to miss the rest of the season again. Um, he plays hard, and his body doesn't love it. And it sucks, and you want him to be around. He's a big piece of the team, but I mean, the one of the first things I said to everyone was, "Well, last time he got hurt, we won it all." So,
It's
maybe
a
I don't know. It's
that's a
tough to be
tough
too
way to
upset.
think.
It,
So
it,
go ahead, go ahead.
I was just saying, it's one of those things that, um, we talked about at the very beginning of the year. Like, what would have to happen for me to feel like not great about the team? And that superstars getting hurt. We got Strider and Acuna, who are now both out for the season, and I'm going, okay, this is not looking great. So we got bright spots, right? So Max Fried is pitching his ass off. The last three games, he has averaged 8 innings. He has a total ERA of 1.13, 28 strikeouts in 24 innings. Batting average against him's 173. Like, he is pitching out of his mind. I think one of those is a
He's
complete
stepping up
game.
big time.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
complete game shut piece, I think that
yep,
was.
exactly. And he had, a couple starts prior. He had 7 innings, no hits, and they took him out for whatever reason. Like, he's looking legit. So the Strider, obviously having him and Strider would have been ideal, but with Strider going out, Sale pitching the way he has, I feel good about that. So maybe we're okay there. We still need another arm. That has to happen for us to be competitive. And then the Acuna thing. Listen, Kelenick's playing great. Um,
He just like screwed up his wrist. Did anything happen with that yesterday?
I just think they're. I think
I
his
didn't.
it was like X-rays and stuff were negative, so I think
Okay.
we're
It
okay
looked
there.
really bad. Really, really bad. And
Yeah.
I was
So
sad. I
um,
was sad in the club.
so we'll see what happens there, and hopefully he stays healthy because we need him. Because if he goes out,
Then you're in
as
real
then
trouble.
we're in real trouble. Because Duval, I mean, I love Duval as an athlete and as a person, what he's done for the city, but he's not an everyday player. He's just not anymore.
Mm-mm.
And so, I mean, Azuna still playing out of his mind. That guy is never going to stop hitting the baseball hard. So, fingers crossed that you know he continues to stay hot. We're going to have to get another piece on the offensive side to even think about it. So yeah, it's a woe is me time of the year right now. So
Yeah, I have a question on Acuna for you.
yeah,
How uh, this will be a personal question and a team related question,
love it.
all in the same. How do you feel about him playing winter ball in Venezuela in the off season? Does that like just need to come to an end? Is there like a conversation of like, hey man, I need you to like tone it down if you are gonna be there? Like how does because you kind of have to let him be him, right? To like,
Well, I mean, you do have to let him be him, but like also this is his last contract with us. So after the season, it doesn't really matter what he does in the winter from my perspective. I don't
he's
because
done right now after this year?
I think this is the last year. Yeah.
There's no way. He's not.
Um,
Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. You can
I'm
say what
pretty
you want.
sure this is one of the main reasons he's playing the way he is because this is his last year. It's a contract year for Ozuna. I thought.
No, Acuna, Acuna, Acuna,
Oh,
Acuna,
Acuna.
Acuna,
I'm sorry,
Acuna, Acuna.
Acuna Matata. I don't think that has anything to do with his.
You don't think that wears him down at all? Because he plays like a maniac wherever he goes,
I
and
mean, he
like
does play like a maniac where he
that's
goes.
part of his thing. Like, which is fine. Like that's his brand.
I
However,
mean, okay, so
when you
that's
can't produce for me in the season I'm paying you what XXX amount of money for, well then I don't know if I want you playing in Venezuela anymore.
okay.
Now
Well,
that's an old timer take, but I'm just saying in hindsight, right, with the benefit of hindsight, and you just tore your other ACL,
yeah.
is that just a freak accident or is this because you have
Okay.
more wear and tear?
So at this point, I it's similar to was it Andrew Jones that had the motorcycle accident and we told him he couldn't ride motorcycles anymore? I think it was.
What?
Yeah, we had an athlete that had a motorcycle accident, and we're like, "Hey, you got to stop doing that." And so I think it's definitely similar, where you reach a point with athletes, especially as they mature, that you say, "Hey, you got to stop taking risks. Like you're too important, you're too valuable." And yes, I think at this point we have to tell Ronnie, "Hey, listen, we need you all year. You can go to Venezuela and be that ambassador, shake hands, kiss babies, all that kind of stuff. But we can't have you playing baseball anymore. Like we need you for full seasons. I don't think that's out of the question at this point."
Okay. I
Yep.
just wanted to get an idea. That was Ron, was that Ron Gant?
Maybe it was Ron Gant. Okay, so it was one of our.
It was
I said
Ron
Andrew.
Gant.
Okay, Ron Gant. That
Yeah.
makes sense. Yep.
Okay. Anyway, that was just me. I have no idea that any of that happened to
Yeah,
any
yeah, yeah.
player. But I guess the other question, I mean, you said it, so it seems like you're still all in. But you lose Ronnie, you lost Strider early on. Is this still a win now team? Like, hey, we still want to go for this, or is it a, hey, we got to kind of tone it back because we're not really ready. Like I know Freed's on a contract year, Ozuna's not. Like you're gonna, I think it is a go for it, right?
I agree. I think it has to be with Freed going away, with Sale being basically on. I mean, we need to ride that hot hand as long as we have it. Morton doesn't have much longer in him. Yeah, there's no way we don't do something more to try to make at least a good stab at it. Um, so yeah, I don't think we're not going to sit back and I mean, we're definitely not going to be a sellers team by any stretch of the imagination. But
No, I didn't say that.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
just not buy.
Oh,
There's a difference between selling and
well,
buying and not buying.
well, here's the thing. Like Double A has always been really good at buying at discounted rates, so I think we can expect more of that. So the talent's probably going to be even less impressive than what he usually does, which he always seems to pull out mid-level guys and make them all-stars somehow. So I think it'll probably just be maybe a higher number of, oh, he's a guy. You know what I mean? I
We're,
think that's probably what we're looking at.
yeah, we're gonna have to put together some sort of trade deadline episode, like
Oh, definitely.
strictly in like way before the deadline, just so we get our predictions out there. Because I think it's gonna be an interesting deadline
Agreed.
where there's good players available, but like these teams don't need to give these players away either,
Hmm.
right? They don't have to like, oh, here, come and take whomever. Well, I'm going to get into them in a second with the Mariners because they're tied to each and every one of these goddamn guys. But it just feels weird where there might be some overpays if you want to make this team that much, or make your team that much better this year.
Yeah.
So, with that said, I'm going to take my own advice and jump into the Mariners minute here.
Okay.
And we're still in first place,
Hmm.
and it still doesn't feel that way.
Yeah.
Like I want to believe so much, and I want that I'm there. I'm watching every game. I texted you today. I watched till the sixth inning yesterday. They were getting perfect game pitch against them by Joey Estes. No idea who that man is, but guess what? He was pitching his ass off, and I don't think it had anything to do with him,
Yeah.
right? So, and that's alarming. to me. So there's a lot of things that need to happen in terms of lineup. And with that said, who's out there? Luis Robert has been tied to the Seattle Mariners,
Mm.
and he's supposedly available. What he costs, I don't know. Again, are the White Sox going to trade him? I don't know. He's team
That
controlled till
I mean,
like 2028.
yeah,
So it's like what do you have to give up? And you go on go on Twitter, and all of these fans don't want to trade a prospect for a proven major league player. And I don't
mhm.
comprehend that mindset, right? Because like, yes, okay, Luis Robert gets hurt a little bit, misses some time, but like, if any prospect that's in my system ever amounted to be him, I would be thoroughly pleased with
Yeah, yeah, I
with the
agree. Yeah,
concept that that's
yeah,
Luis
yeah,
Robert,
yeah.
right? So you're looking at guys like that uh, somehow, and we kind of nix the 3 up 3 down thing, but Vladimir Guerrero Jr. has been touted in trade talks as well, and also somehow linked to the Seattle Mariners, and the guy has been an absolute machine since May 1st. Let me see if I could find it. Hopefully it's still up. It's not. Why would it be, right? That would be too easy. But since from May 1st to the June 3rd, he was hitting 367,
Mm.
had 3 home runs, couple RBIs, couple. He had 16 RBIs. Like the guy turned it around. He's back to close to an 800 OPS, which like wasn't even an idea. Wasn't even a concept at some point in the season. So again, sure, Vlad's available. What are you willing to pay for him?
Yeah.
And for my concept, I'll blow it all up. You go get me the you
Yeah, yeah,
get
you
me a
don't care.
ring. You get me a ring. I don't care who you trade.
Man, I hope it is the Blue Jays because that would be hilarious. And a fun conversation with the guys over there.
Yeah,
I
because the
mean,
Blue Jays kind of got an easy stretch recently, and they're hovering back around. Like they're right around 500, so they're
mhm,
not completely dead. Especially with Vlad. But they're 2 games under 500, but they're 13 out of the division.
mm,
But to the point of wild card, they're 3.5 back, so they're not
yeah,
out of it.
yeah,
7-3 in their last 10. So again, the point of like, what do you do, and how long do they wait? Like that's a team that probably waits till July 30th to start fielding phone calls. Like
yeah. I
Bo
don't
Bichette's the
disagree.
same thing. Bo Bichette hasn't really turned it around, but he's 25, 26 years old, and I kind of prefer Bo Bichette on my team than not on my team. Right? Like, are you like, I'm
Yeah,
getting rid of
yeah,
Bo
yeah.
Bichette? No, like, I'm going to give him every opportunity to succeed. I'm talking about a ton of guys not on the Mariners, but I'm just giving you an idea of like, they need to make moves, and now's the time. The pitching staff has been there. Kirby's been solid. Gilbert's been solid. Castillo is Castillo. Brian Wu, Bryce Miller, they're all pitching very well. Uh, the lineup it has holes, and that's the end of that's the end of the story.
Yeah,
They they made a deal for Victor Robles, if you remember him. He was a top prospect for the Washington
I remember.
Nationals for a
Yep.
little while. He was put in a shitty spot last night against Mason Miller.
Ooh.
Grounded into a double play. It was a whole thing. They pinch hit him. It was a disaster. Like this shouldn't have happened. But
Eh,
anyway, but that's what we're working with, like platoon guys. I'm sick
yeah,
of it. Go get
yeah,
me a guy who's in left field or right field or whatever fucking field you want to put him in. That he's there every day, and I have nothing. He's penciled in. I don't have to worry about that position. That's not happening right now, and I'm concerned. But there's needs. I can't wait for deadline talk because I need them to make so many goddamn moves.
they're gonna make like one move, and it's for a position you don't need.
Tell you what, man, a couple years ago they surprised the hell out of me and got Luis Castillo like a couple weeks
That's
before the
true.
deadline,
That's true.
and it was completely out of the blue, and it worked, and here we are now, and he's our number one
He's
for
a
better or
stud.
for worse,
Yeah.
and I'm happy with it. So that's my Mariners talk. We're in first place. It still doesn't feel that way. There's a lot of season left. The Rangers, the Astros, that's it. They're kind of hovering around, and I don't like it. And we'll see what happens. We've got 10 minutes left,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. So we're gonna speed through this real quick. So
we're
you
we're gonna
mentioned
speed round.
You mentioned three up, three down. So Vlad is one of them. The other one is the sorry, hold on.
Phillies.
Philly. God.
Hurry up.
They got three aces. They look awesome. They're continuing to be world beaters. I hate every second of it. The New York Yankees are a problem because they are the only ones that have real baseballs. They're juiced. They're hitting home runs like crazy. Aaron Judge is playing out of his fucking mind. This guy is a killer. He has
Juan
um,
Soto too.
Juan Soto has also been playing out of his mind. That team is a problem, and I don't know how to deal with them. I'm glad they're not in our division. To be quite honest with you,
Yeah,
so
let me throw out Soto stats super fast because
yeah,
I like them so much, and I told you beforehand. I lost my tweet. All right, here it is. He is hitting, excuse me, he's slugging 836 against four seamers, fastballs, 864 against sinkers, and 696 against cutters. And you might be like, oh, that's not great. And you're like, well, that's slugging percentage, not OPS.
oof,
I read me and a couple other people on this tweet. This is from Mike Petriello, but a couple other like, oh wow, 696, that sucks. That's OPS. Like, no, 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 that's slugging, which is half of the components of OPS. Juan Soto and Aaron Judge hitting back to back is a problem.
yeah,
The New York Yankees are a problem. If the
hmm
Yankees don't re-sign Juan Soto, it might be the biggest fumble in baseball history. Like they need to figure out whatever the hell they need to do to keep him on the team. Oh, and let's not forget, Garrett Cole is pitching rehab starts and pitching well. He is coming sooner rather than later.
yep,
The Yankees are going to be a force.
they are. Real
That's it
quick,
for up.
yeah, real
Go.
quick. Judge has 5 home runs in the last 10 games, 17 RBIs, and is
Stop throwing him fucking
yeah.
pitches down
OPS is his
over the
OPS
plate.
is 1.4. Like, just don't. Why are you pitching to this guy? Why is this
And
guy
never
not the
stop.
Barry Bonds
Walk,
level?
walk,
Yeah, just walk his
Soto,
ass.
walk, Judge, face Verdugo, and figure it out then.
All right,
But
three
regardless,
down. Let's go.
um,
Three down. So the obvious are the White Sox. We're not
13
gonna
straight losses.
13 straight losses. That is horrendous. They have the
Second most in franchise history. Their franchise record is 15
they'll break it.
from that came between the 67 and 68 seasons. That
That's
was courtesy of Jay Hay.
yeah, and they play the Red Sox, and then this weekend they are up against the I meant to bring it up the Red Sox. Yeah, so I don't think they're
Said the Red
gonna.
Sox.
Yeah, it's the Red Sox. Yeah, so they're gonna
Right.
continue losing. I think they'll break that streak. And their just real quick, their run differential is
You
152.
love run differential, but that's horrendous.
It's
That's so bad.
it's almost double the second worst. But anyway, sorry. Okay. Other two down. Go
Blake
ahead.
Snell, Jordan Montgomery. We're gonna
What,
lump them together.
dude? Blake Snell forgot
They're
how to
both
pitch.
they're both bad right now. They I don't know how much we can contribute that to them being like not signing prior to the season starting and all of
You
that.
know,
I don't know.
I call that
We're
shit
in June,
karma.
right? So you kind
Karma.
of lose. You hate Scott
I hate
Boras,
Scott Boras
so
so
that's
much.
an A plus in your book.
It is.
1.1 WAR, 9.51 ERA,
Ugh.
a 1.944 WHIP. He's been bad, and
Dog shit.
I know I was stumping for him to be a Mariner, and I refuse to believe I was wrong
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
because I wanted him from day one, but man, he's been not good. But guess what? That means he wins a Cy Young next year. Can you? Okay, I could see you blinking. He's only worth negative .9 WAR, 1.72 WHIP. Also, just not good. I don't know what their deal is, and that might speak to the whole Diamondbacks team. We're gonna need
Right.
to have our Diamondbacks guy on because it's just a disaster. Corbin Carroll too. I know I don't have stats ready for him, but he just has not turned it around like
Mm-mm.
whatsoever at all, and that's maddening for a lot of different reasons. But yeah, we might have to. We got a lot of people we need to get back on. I don't know how the hell we're gonna time that all right, but we need Aaron from the Diamondbacks and just a wellness check on him.
Yep.
The Blue Jays guys, like I think mid-season. I don't know. Maybe if they
You know
start
what we
trading
should do,
guys.
Chris? We should do a mid-season wellness check for the teams that are doing bad, and then a mid-season brag fest for the teams that are doing good. You know what I mean?
We're
Like
gonna
we should,
figure it out.
yeah. We'll do something like that.
We'll work on it. I'll start reaching out to
All
people
right. So
now
we've got about
because we're almost there.
we're almost there. We got about 5 minutes left.
Oh boy.
This weekend, what are we looking forward to this weekend?
I've only got two call outs.
Okay.
One is the entire Yankees Dodgers series.
Yes,
You want
absolutely.
star power. You got star power.
But we
already
talked
alluded
about
to it.
Judge versus Glass now. Yep.
Judge Glasnow, Stanton Glasnow, Soto Glasnow. I'm pretty sure Soto left today's game though, tonight's game. Don't know why. Didn't look into it at all. That's my fault. But anyway, big series for both teams, right? Just trying to prove you're worthy. So you'll have decent what the hell's his name? Gil, Heel, whatever you want to call him. He's pitching against Glasnow, and in terms of how hot pitchers are, he's just as good as Glasnow at this particular point.
At this moment, yes.
That's Sunday Night Baseball, by the way. Glasnow and Heel, Gil, whatever.
I can't wait.
My personal favorite is George Kirby and Cole Reagans.
Oh, okay.
Mariners first, Royals. The Royals are somehow have a better record than the Mariners. You clearly don't love that at all. The Mariners are going to come into town, though, take that series, and it's going to finish with, why can't I find it? That is on Sunday. Sunday at 2 o'clock Eastern, Kirby Reagans. That is all I really had. Like, yeah, you're going to have your guys free throw Sunday. I think you had one to call out. I'll let you call that out.
Imanaga
Screwball
pitched.
throw Sunday, too.
Okay, yeah. So Screwball's Sunday. Imanaga is Sunday against the Reds. And I want to say there was one more. But I forget it already.
Who'd
so,
you say?
huh?
Who'd you say? Imanaga versus the
Imanaga,
Reds, right?
yeah,
Just comes
Imanaga
from
Reds.
Their first Reds in general is a good
Yeah,
one.
it'll be a good game. I think the most laughable series is Rockies Cardinals. That I don't care to
The
watch that
Cardinals
at
are only
all.
2 games under 500.
Some
And I said that about the Blue Jays, and it's like, oh, they're close. And I said that about the Cardinals, like they fucking blow. Like they're just
Yeah,
not.
they're probably closer to their division than the Blue Jays are. But I'm with you. Like I'm not impressed with what I've seen from
Like
the
I have
Cardinals at all.
no concept or no like belief that the Cardinals have any chance to do anything.
Yeah,
So they
same.
are, where the hell are they? Yeah, they're 6.5 out in the division.
Eh,
In terms of, they're probably a ton back of the wild card though.
there's no way that they
You
are
you ready?
buyers.
Wait,
Yeah.
they're 1 game out of the wild card.
Ah. Okay. All right. Interesting.
They're
Interesting.
1 game behind the Cubs and Padres. They're way
Okay.
behind the Braves.
Yeah.
Like the Braves are 5.5 up. But so the NL wild card might be a fun thing to watch going forward because the Padres, the Cubs, the Reds, the Giants, the Cardinals, the D-backs who we said are reeling, the Pirates who just stink, right? Who everybody thinks they stink. Wait, I'm going to keep going. The Mets and the
What?
Nationals. So the only teams not included in this being the Rockies and Marlins, and then your division leaders, are 3.5 games out of the wild card.
Holy shit, that's close.
Right?
That's close. I
And
mean,
the-
the
and
Rockies
the
and Marlins
Nationals-
are dog shit. They're like 21 wins. Like it's real bad.
And the Nationals are 27 and 35.
They don't keep that up. No way.
They're 20. There's nothing to keep up. They win 43% of their games.
I
I'm
know.
saying being 43% through 162 games is not getting you into the playoffs.
That's baseball, man.
You're not making the playoffs with I don't know the number with
Yeah.
78 wins.
Yeah, no, you shouldn't at least. That's
What
for
is that
sure.
number 162 times. What
Do
number
math
did I
quick.
say?
We have less than a minute.
165? 70 wins. Yeah, you're not making it.
Okay, you're not making
You're
it. I definitely agree with you. Okay, everyone.
All right.
Sorry for the weird episode, but we are
I
glad
hope
to
you
be back.
enjoy this one.
Yeah,
We're
this
not
one-
gonna do it like this very often, but we wanted to get this out because the last time we waited, it wasn't ideal.
Yeah.
We waited too long, but we hope you enjoy. We're gonna get this out. You should see it in the morning.
Yep.
So hopefully you're listening to this on your Friday commute.
It'll be on YouTube. My name is Andrew,
I'm Chris.
and we're the Coach's Sons podcast.